everybody, it's Ryan.
And it's Caden.
And welcome back to First Do No Harm. It has been a minute since we have been on YouTube.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
So we just wanted to make a video and catch you guys up on what life has looked like for us since 2 years ago whenever we made our last video. And so yeah, let's get started. So the last video that we put out, I believe, was the video where I reviewed the Kaplan-and.Caden books, and that was 2 years ago. But since then, a whole lot of things have happened. So during that period of time, we were in the middle of applying to med schools, and we hadn't heard back from any of them for any interviews or anything like that. So that's where we were in that time frame. So back whenever I made that video, the Kaplan-and.Caden books review video, we were both in the process of applying to medical schools, and neither of us had heard back as far as any interviews were concerned at that point in time. And then I believe it just wasn't too long after I made that video that I actually got a call back for a couple of interviews, and Caden did, not too far after.
About a month after you, I got my interview.
So I had an interview at one school, and that school was really, really nice, and then I had an interview at another school, and then Caden ended up having...
I had one interview, and then by the time I had, another interview later on, but I'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, so then after my second interview, I heard back that I got into the school that I wanted to go to, and not too much longer after that, Caden ended up hearing back from the same school.
Yeah, I got the acceptance letter from that school, and that's when I actually got an offer for my second interview, which I declined because I got into the one that I wanted. So. Okay,
so without further ado, we want to show you which school that we ended up going to. Whoa, it's upside down. Hold on, let's try again. Okay, and without further ado, we want to show you what school that we are currently going to. WVSOM in Lewisburg, West Virginia. It's very close to home for us. And yes, so that was a huge reason why we wanted to come here, and it's just a really wonderful place, truly. So after that, after we heard that we got into WVSOM, about a month after that,
I proposed to her at our school chapel in front when it was our homecoming on campus.
And then, so after that, man, life just kind of moved into a whirlwind because...
I graduated, then I started working at Lowe's for a couple months before we moved out to Lewisburg. You were finishing up a couple of your classes. Both of us were making either last-minute preparations to move here, getting last-minute work done, like paperwork done for the school, and wedding preparations.
Yeah, and in the midst of all that, we were planning for our wedding, and so that ended up happening. So he proposed to me in November of that year, so that was in 2018 that he had proposed, and then in 2019, July, so a year ago this month, we got married, tied the knot, and then a week after that, we moved here to Lewisburg, and then we embarked on our first year of medical school. Well, it was very difficult because med school is very difficult, but
it's doable.
It is very doable, but something that I really miss right now is all the pre-COVID stuff that we were actually allowed to be on campus and taking classes that way. So that's something that I really, really miss right now, because then the last 3 months of our first year of medical school ended up getting turned into all online studying. And so we were really thankful that our school, and I'm sure probably all the other schools out there though, have allowed for online learning, but
many of them switched to completely online.
Yeah.
Pretty early on, actually.
Yeah, but now we are about 3 days from starting our second year of medical school. So we are really excited about that. We have a final that we have to make up because where it's an OMT final that we weren't able to do during the earlier part of the pandemic. So everyone in our class has to take that before starting onto our first course of this upcoming year, which is heart.
for those of you aspiring MDs out there, OMT is essential, or people who are not too familiar with medical school right now, OMT is the manipulative medicine that DOs use to treat patients.
Yeah, so that's where we are in life right now. We want to get back into YouTube quite a bit more than we have in the last 2 years. My dad's actually being really, really awesome, and he's doing the editing for us, so that way we don't have to take away too much time from studying to do that, because I am not good with technology at all. So.
I'm a little better.
So as of right now, just being in the middle of our didactic years of training, we both really want to enter into primary care fields. I particularly would like to enter into pediatrics, because I don't know if I talked about this in our last YouTube videos, but I was a gymnastics coach for many years, and I love kids so much, so that's why I want to do pediatrics.
I'm wanting to go into family practice. Where I'm from, there's a definite need for primary physicians, especially family doctors. Heck, where I'm from, there's only a handful of them, and they're hard to get into. And I want to focus on, I mentioned a little bit earlier, the OMT, manipulative medicine type of stuff, in order to help treat pain in patients instead of using other types of drugs and stuff.
And on top of all of that, we really want to open up our own practice together, going back home to the Bluefield-Princeton area, because that's home for us, and it's sad to see so many doctors moving out of the area.
We'll be two that move in.
For sure. Oh yeah, so just recently, Bluefield Regional Medical Center, which is very, very close to where Caden lived whenever we lived back there, so they just recently got bought out and then closed. And so that's definitely going to be a really, really difficult time for a lot of physicians and nurses in the area. They're going to be losing their jobs. So.
A lot of people lost their jobs. It was a complicated issue. A couple people went over to the Princeton area, but now there's not a hospital in the middle of the greater Bluefield area, and so that's going to hit quite a few people hard, unfortunately. So hopefully they'll be able to move forward from here. Hopefully try to bring something else in there in the near future.
Yeah, but that's why we really feel called to work in rural health in primary care, because as of right now, there's a very few number of pediatricians in our area, and a very few, well, there's more family practitioners, but
there's a handful of
handful, yeah, a handful of everyone. So we really want to be able to serve our community in that way.
We look forward to doing it.
We do. I'm excited. But we want to keep you guys updated on how school is going throughout this new year that we're about to start. It's going to be different because we're still in the middle of the pandemic, and we're still doing things mostly online, but we have been given the opportunity to go back and do some labs and things as long as we're wearing masks. We had to get tested for coronavirus.
We're not going to let the end of the world keep us down.
We had to get coronavirus tested last week, and not surprisingly, I mean, we really haven't gone anywhere, but we were both tested negative, so that's pretty cool going into this with our health, so.
Thankful for that, blessed for that. Here's to a good year moving future, and of course, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask us about classes that we've taken, experiences that we've, bigger experiences or smaller experiences that we've had that have impacted our lives while we've been here at school, just leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And we'll probably make more videos talking about that type of stuff in the future. And we look forward to hearing y'all.
And make sure to like and subscribe and hit the little bell if you want to hear from us in the future.
Thank y'all so much.